you have to go visit?
We don't usually visit, we'll do a field exam.
It's an emergency for a non-emergency thing.
So that's your,
That's what happened.
Big boy chair.
I work for
All the kids to see it.
I heard the bits and pieces. It sounds like it was reasonable, but
John Glidden.
it sounded like from the
I
chief's
talked
perspective,
about
all she needed to
I
do
gave
was
her a
call and say,
nickname.
hey, this is what we did and why we did
Tax
it.
collector, also known as the
Communication was
Black
never
Widow.
made.
If the
She's
ambulance showed up,
rated.
Yeah.
there would have been
Oh, she's still there. They're waiting. They're counting the
this
days
wasn't
till
a
she
real
retires.
thing.
well, she was, she could,
It was
I think
just,
she could retire
But
this
what
year.
I'm saying though is, even though she did it that way,
She could have maybe retired last year.
but she's hanging on.
well, that's what her response
else is
is.
there
Now.
for
It's
you?
like, I'm just gonna communicate
Her
everything.
dog died,
Yes,
Rocco.
but no, that's has nothing to do with it.
Oh,
I think they're. I think that they're estranged.
Mine's fine.
That's right, her too.
No BS.
She's just. She doesn't like women. And she doesn't like men. So you've narrowed it down to very few things that you can do. God. Oh God.
Getting,
Yeah, she helped grease my skids out, but you know, everything happens for the best. I'm much
It was a
happier.
blessing.
Oh, it's a blessing, Vincent.
Hey guys. Hey Tom.
How are you?
Getting that pole out, Tom. I'm gonna dig it out myself. I could just have to move a pole, not mountains. Oh, we're on the air.
We gotta get busy. You wanna get busy? Hey, good to see you. I'm doing my squeeze. Good. That's Forte.
I'm going to Canada. No, I'm going to Canada later. Not next month. July. I'll be in Canada.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the Borough of Oradell Planning Board regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd. It is 7:34. And notice of this meeting was published in the official newspaper and prominently posted in Borough Hall and filed with the clerk's office in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act. Roll call.
Mayor Goth? Here. Mr. Darian?
Here.
Mr. Hines?
Here.
Mr. Scalcione?
Here.
Mr. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Flegging?
Here.
Mr. Kelly?
Here. Mr. Darian, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first agenda meeting item is to approve the planning board meeting minutes from April 7th, 2026.
Ask if there's any edits or changes that we want to make. No?
Yeah. Any comments, any changes? I'll take a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from what date? Was it last week? Last month?
April 7th, 2026.
Approve the minutes for April 7th, 2026.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Chairman, I'm going to abstain to reflect my absence.
I'm going to abstain as well. Okay, we'll move right to committee reports, having no applications tonight. Subdivision, site drainage, and soil moving? Who is that?
What was that, me? I don't remember. Remember we discussed who was going to take over for Steve? Was that me or was
It's
that?
so long since you've given a report.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have
It's you, Mr. Darian.
It was, Greg.
Yeah,
Yes.
usually we have the names next to these subcommittee
Yeah.
chairs. Yeah, I have nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
Business, buildings, and signage.
Amanda's not here.
Regional planning coordination. That's the mayor.
Yeah, just a brief comment on the town continues to pursue
obtaining our fourth round affordable housing plan certification. Still working through what was left over from mediation with one of the developers for 800 Kinderkamak. We've had continued case management conference hearings with the court at the county level. We believe that the council will be able to draw some conclusion to this in the next 30 or 60 days. We'll have another report.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, you want to comment on Mr. Reiner's? He's about 75% completed with his report. He's visited the properties, and he should have something within the next couple of weeks.
Right. So to just
A draft.
quickly recap Mr. Depkin's contribution to the report, the board retained Fran Reiner, our redevelopment planner, to take a area in need of redevelopment study for 800, 700, and 690 Kinderkamak. He believes he'll be before us next month with a draft of his report and to make a presentation to the board of his findings.
Zoning, I don't have anything for zoning, but I would ask the mayor if there's been any progress or movement towards the idea of combining planning and zoning.
Sure. So it's been discussed at the council. The draft ordinance has been with the ordinance committee. I think that hopefully they will be out of committee shortly with a draft that the council intends to introduce at a meeting in the very near future.
Thank you, Mayor. Master Plan, Open Space, Environmental and Circulation Systems. Mr.
Yes.
Darian.
Yes. To remind everyone, last year we had the re-exam document that we worked on and made public. It's actually posted on the borough website. But it's a draft version. It was never completed because we were in the midst of the fourth round affordable housing plan. And so we decided that we were going to stop continuing work on the re-exam document. So to elaborate, the re-exam looks at the entire master plan. The fourth housing plan is the affordable housing component. So it's a subset of the master plan. So one of the things that we were contemplating is, since it's broader in scope, it will address some of the items in the affordable housing component, but it will also address items that are not in the affordable housing component that we feel are very important that need to be addressed. And to that end, I would like to invite anyone who's interested to participate at the subcommittee level to let me know, because I'm going to be scheduling sometime in the future, within the next week or two, a subcommittee meeting so that we can look at the plan and then discuss goals and objectives in order to complete the document. So that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Historical Preservation, Councilman Kelly.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chairman.
So under old business, we have financial disclosure statements. I know I completed mine. I hope everybody
I completed mine as well.
done theirs, as well as cybersecurity training.
So just on the financial disclosures, for those who may not have done it, you may be subject to a fine by the state of New Jersey for each day it's not done. There's nothing that the borough can do to help anybody in that situation. It's between you and the state of New Jersey, so just a little PSA.
Is there a list for cybersecurity training? I know I took the first one, but there was a part two, wasn't there?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember if there was a part two. Is there a way to verify that?
I can send you the link to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can send the link to the whole board again. Because those who may not have done it could attempt to do the first part. Others can pick up where they left off. The importance of this cybersecurity training may seem trivial, but it helps us with our insurance rate as it relates to cybersecurity, which, as we all know, is a huge issue right now. So the more people from the borough, they're trying to hit a certain percentage of completion amongst people on the network. So the more people that complete this, the better this is for us.
Okay, new business. Discussion regarding building design in the B1 zone. So I think this was part of a public comment in the past. And I don't know who put this together. Was it you, Greg?
I was,
Design standards?
Yes.
That was done by Joe Burgess's office. It was.
So this is current design standards?
No, this was, some recommendations he had in the very beginning for storefronts and downtown area, but it was never adopted. It was never put into an ordinance and adopted.
But it was recommended in the master plan in 2018.
So the planning board recommended it.
This is actually a copy of the pages within the master plan.
The land use element.
Right. It is very detailed and specific. I mean, it calls out that the front doors need to be recessed, the front facade has to be a minimum of 50% of the windows have to be 50% of the building length. It talks about awnings, roofs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What you should do in older buildings if they want to close in the windows. So, long story short, not everything was implemented, and I think this is a classic example of something we'd want to review and discuss at the subcommittee level and include whatever we feel is pertinent from these design standards in the re-exam document.
if I can, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If I can comment here, I'm pretty sure the genesis of this did come from some public comment. It came from a recent application for the liquor store down the street at the end of, on the south end. This is, I'm pretty sure, taken from our master plan, so recommending how our downtown likes to look. The specific section of this document that you have refers to windows, and that's where this came from, was that the application, I'm pretty sure, whichever board he came in front of, did not have any windows on the storefront, so that's why I asked Mr. Defkin's office to pull that. This is the part of the master plan that refers to specifically windows, not the rest of design for buildings, et cetera. So I thought, to me, and it's really, I'm thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, that this board would recommend to the mayor and council that we have an ordinance that requires, we suggest that the mayor and council pass an ordinance requiring that our downtown business district at least have windows in their storefronts. There's a section in there about windows. So that's what to me, that makes sense. Not every other detail about that's in this master plan, specifically about windows. And as I think I mentioned, I'm not sure what meeting I was at, that I did speak with the owner of that establishment. He did get approval, and he again, at some point referenced that he would potentially be open to having windows there. So to me, that was it really. Do we recommend to the mayor and council, let's send a letter from this board to the mayor and council recommending that we think our downtown businesses should have windows, and that really was where I was coming from for that.
Can I just ask for one clarification? Are you saying, Tom, that this wasn't considered when the application was approved?
I wasn't part of that application. That is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's part of our master plan.
This says it's not. It says it's not adopted.
No, it wasn't adopted. Oh, not part of. Oh, this is the recommendation.
No, it's part of our master plan, but it was never adopted by the mayor and council.
Ordinance, correct. Yeah. So this is part of our master plan, but to Mr. Darian's point of view, the mayor and council did not adopt. I don't know what part of that, but in our ordinances, I'm pretty sure we don't have a requirement that our downtown buildings have windows.
So the context of the liquor store application and the public comment is that the context of the public comment for that application for the liquor store was that he wasn't required by ordinance to have shop storefront windows.
Right.
A lot of people said, and this board said essentially we could not deny the application because of something that wasn't a requirement.
Right.
And that's why a subsequent meeting, members of the public said, well, why don't we have the ordinance? So that we have some sort of a,
So that's really it. I think the playbook is that if this board was in favor of this, to send a letter or to the mayor and council saying we are in favor of, you should strongly consider passing an ordinance requiring windows in our downtown business district. That's what we're talking about here. The rest of that document here speaks to, again, facades and canopies and things like that. But I think that that's it, and that's what I would personally be in favor of. I'm pretty sure when this board discussed it that, and it is reasonable, right? So we don't have a blank wall of brick coming in our downtown. So
why was this never codified? Why did this never leave the master plan discussion phase?
I can't answer that.
It was just never acted on.
I think that's the case.
Never presented, to the mayor and council.
Well, the master plan was.
The master plan was.
Re-examination, which was.
The master plan is just an idea of what the town.
Yeah.
It's a recommendation.
You need to do an ordinance.
and if I can add as well, similar to the windows, and we had another application over the past year where a lot of people said, why are we not requiring certain building materials like brick and stone? And that was another thing that was recommended here in terms of the type of building materials to use, but it's a recommendation, it's not a requirement. So another example of that.
I want to go back to what Greg had suggested, which is to take this land use element and bring it back to the subcommittee, and let's review it.
Yes.
And let's understand, is it windows, or is it windows and a couple other things? And then we can amend the master plan if we need to, and we can make a recommendation to the mayor and council.
So
I would add one more on top of that layer of cake you're building, Chairman. So I agree with the windows, but I don't think you should just stop at windows. I think that you should adopt a set of design standards that are not too narrowly focused, but that speak to bigger issues, that speak to the context and the aesthetic of the building and the types of materials and how they're applied. But nowhere, this document could serve a much greater purpose in that we've had other buildings in the downtown that have been substantially renovated. They've needed to fix the sidewalk in front of the building. A light pole needed a tree. There's no one document that tells a professional working for a property owner, this is what you need to consider in restoring or replacing or building new streetscape or anything to do with a facade renovation. These are not unreasonable things for us and the council to adopt as far as standards go. But this actually could really become the depository of all that information. So when a professional comes in and says to Mr. Depkin's office, what do I need to do, in front of the old Panico building, because they put in circle sidewalks instead of square sidewalks, and he says, why did you do that? Oh, well, we have an ordinance. Well, I can't read your whole code book to figure out what kind of sidewalks you want. Well, here's the design guidelines. Use them for your reference in your project. So I think that's us trying to help people comport with the aesthetic that we want to see. So I think the set of design standards is a very reasonable thing for us to develop and adopt.
Mr. Depkin, could you get, not that we would follow in other boroughs' design standard, but I would be interested to see the different categories that they have, if they have such a design standard, like windows and colors and facades and streetscape and lighting and canopies and all those different
I think
things.
you might want to get the planner involved. The subcommittee can start, but have the planner involved. It helped very well with signage when we started doing all the signage. And that's their forte. So they'll take things from other towns, present them to the subcommittee, and have them look at it and hash it out.
Well, I'm assuming that we have ordinances already that talk about some of these items in here, do we not? I'm assuming
Well,
that,
there's an ordinance for signage.
right, so signage certainly,
Not facades,
yeah.
not windows, not
Really?
windows being bumped in.
We do have canopies,
Yes.
ordinance for canopies.
I think that was part of signage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just to remind everyone, this section that's taken from the master plan is something we put together strictly for the central business district. It wasn't a recommendation for the entire the borough. So, even if this was adopted, when we were reviewing the application for the liquor store, that was in the B3 zone and not in the central business district zone, so it wouldn't apply to even then. So to the mayor's point, we're going to look at design standards holistically throughout the borough, and we're going to make it less specific, but also include enough specificity so that we can craft ordinances that could be easily implemented. So that's our goal.
I think, Greg, just one thing. I think we would want to start with the Kinderkamak corridor.
Okay.
I don't think the intent is to start in residential zones. I don't know what, if anything, we might want to do there. But we did expand central business district, right?
Yes.
Replace B3 with central business district. So we've had some expansion, so this makes even more sense now that we're talking about it.
That would include Oradell.
I would think we would limit this to the business zone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I don't. Our goal is not to come up with, no white houses with black trim. We're not going to do something like that.
No.
But even as guidelines now in front of our land boards, this is part of our master plan, so this is our recommendation, but put in an ordinance would give it teeth. But this is something that our boards could say, hey, we have this already, this is what we prefer, we'd like you to change your
We
plans.
need the ordinance to implement
To give it some teeth.
what this is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would put this together and make a recommendation, mayor and council, and then they would have to approve it and define an ordinance. All right, so we have some work to do. Who's on the subcommittee, Greg?
I don't think we went through and asked
I think it was
volunteers
just
this year.
the chairmans that we had a list of.
Yes. So we had Mr. Scalzione, myself,
Me.
you, and
I think the mayor as well.
the mayor was on the subcommittee last year. And I didn't look at the bylaws, but I don't know what the members of the planning board feel. Would you be interested in bringing in outside planning board members to join in on the subcommittee, people who may be of interest and might dedicate their time, who are not necessarily...
You mean
members of the
residents?
planning board? Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that, hearing their perspective.
Okay.
You just have to be careful of a quorum for the board members.
Right.
I think that you have your kind of template here, or playbook, a good place to start.
Yes.
Right here,
Yeah.
right? That the work was done in 2018 with a subcommittee, I guess, or with this work here, with our planner. You know what I mean? I think, I would assume that the subcommittee can discuss what's in here and have comments and maybe add to it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I think it looks like a lot of the heavy lifting is done already, right? I
Well,
think.
this was done by Joe Burgess Associates.
with some input
With
from
input,
the
with
public and from the...
Well, just as long as we don't miss any
Sure.
major categories. So maybe talking to Fran or the planner about getting, a sense of what other towns are doing, as it relates to this. This is, you're right, Tom, this is a good template, but I want to make sure it's comprehensive.
Yeah, and then...
There's other things that we can add, and
Nice.
still fine.
Excuse me, Chairman. As an example, I've been to lots of municipalities where if you want to build a CVS or Starbucks, they have the unique character of the town. I've seen Starbucks that look like log cabins, and the CVS looks more like the other buildings in town than it does the CVS style. And that has to do with their local ordinances and their design standards. And so that kind of language is what I think we really desperately need here.
Yeah. Who's on the committee?
It's,
Who would like to be on the committee? That's the
Okay.
question.
All right, so we don't have, we just.
no,
have-
I think
just
we have it. It's Greg, myself, Vince, and the mayor. Any other comments on this? No? Okay, we'll go to open to the public.
Paul Latsunas, 50 Beverly Road. I'm so happy that you are discussing this today. And I thought that at the previous meeting that was canceled, you would have already had this done by now. I don't know why the meeting was canceled last month. But I would like to see you tonight recommend and make a recommendation to the city council and mayor for windows in the business section, and the other thing is I know that it was in the master plan, but it wasn't done. Now the other thing that I brought up before was about the 15-foot buffer zone that was in the master plan, and so far now it's not in the master plan anymore. But I found it in the code. And I had brought it to the attention of everyone at that time, and everybody agreed that it was in the code. So I don't know why it's still not put in, and that should be recommended to not a 10-foot buffer zone between single-family homes and businesses, a 15-foot. And I have another thing I've been thinking about also is the heights of the buildings. When we give out variances for a height on a building, so the building's supposed to be 35 feet, and it turns out the height is now 42 or 46 feet. And they get the variance, and it passes. And what do we get? Nothing. We didn't increase the buffer zone, even though we made the height of the building. I think we should have a ratio that if you increase the height of the building over and you're getting the variance, they got to give something else up in the buffer zone. That's my opinion on that. The other thing is, I noticed I was driving through Hackensack, and they have at certain areas where you can't park because they made planters there, and they made a nice little area, and it looks nice, and they have a little fence there. And I think that we should look into doing that in our streetscape for corners, so that people won't park in those areas. So that if somebody wants to get out of a street, a side street, they'll have a view. And somebody who just won't go there and park there, and they park illegally, and they park there anyway, right? But if you have something like that, they're not going to go up on top of that and knock the fence down. Hopefully they won't knock the fence down, I don't know. But it's a small, maybe a 16-inch or 15-inch fence, and they have plantings there on all the corners. And I think that that's a nice idea, and then I think it'll really make the town look better too, aesthetics. I mean, I know we have flower pots, but maybe this would be even better than flower pots on the corners. When you wouldn't have to do all this work with flower pots and everything every year. Not for all of them. Maybe we can eliminate some of them, especially on the corners if we do these streetscape there. So that's my opinion on these things. On materials for a building, we should look into that too. until what, this building that they're going to build here at the Bank of America, and he's got all these different materials. It's like a salad to me, you know, mixed up salad. You know, brick and this and that and different stone, different everything, you know, for every little section of the building. But it's only one building, but he had to break it up because it's so big, you know. That's the other fiasco about it. So nothing we can do about that. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about this building being built yet. And I haven't seen any progress at all. And I'm wondering what's going on. Maybe a change of mind. I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, that the person that started the building and got it passed actually sold the entire building. I don't know if that's true or not. Does anybody know about that?
I know.
This is what I heard, that it was sold.
Hasn't been sold.
It hasn't? Okay, thank you. All right, so it was only a rumor.
Yep.
Okay. And I thank you for what you do. I'd like to see more involvement when and more questions when we do these projects that you're going to be talking about and that you're going to be ruling, or whether you're going to pass it or not. Please ask questions, more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam Tripsis, 327 Maple Avenue. When the Walgreens application was presented in 2008, they were going to put a brick wall. We didn't have an ordinance in place, but it was requested by the zoning board to put windows, and they did. And the application obviously didn't happen through litigation and all that. But the suggestion was made. The public requested it, and eventually revised plans were made. So fast forward to 2018, when the master plan was being updated. There is a section in here. There's a lot of sections in the master plan that were just inserted from other towns. You know, it showed, you know, the streetscape of Oradell, but it also showed streets from other municipalities. So it really wasn't specific to Oradell. I mean, and then it was never recommended to the council as you would a list of recommendations. I see like the one of them was conditional uses for restaurants being made permitted use. I mean, that was pushed, but nothing happened with facades or windows or anything like that. There wasn't even a consideration. It's here. Like I said, there's more like a cookie cutter. But I think in that time, we've lost opportunities since we didn't press forward with that. I mean, we have one of the Queen Anne's here that actually built 10 feet in front of their building. You know, they did an addition on their building, a 3-story addition that probably shouldn't have happened. It didn't have to go to any boards, and it was done by building permit, and plans were submitted. And it's unfortunate because it ruined the streetscape. You know, I understand an addition in the back, and that was fine, and he did that. But he did it front and back, so he pushed it as far as he could. So we have a building that doesn't match the rest of the streetscape. So I think that I'm pleased to hear that you're going to move forward with this. But I wouldn't try to do too much with it, because you can have applications coming through, and while you're looking at this in a subcommittee, those applications can be approved without those changes. So, you know, I wouldn't want to take 6 months or a year on this, I would hope. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll close public. And unless anybody has anything else, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good night. Thank you.